Hello and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about my move-in nightmare because it has not been a very good experience just trying to get a different room away from my roommate. Now, I made a video a couple days ago like basically showcasing my new room and saying, "Oh, it's so big." Guess what? I didn't even get a full day to really like experience the room because I immediately had to move out because those people were temporarily living there, and I basically just kicked them out for a night without even intending to. So I was just kind of fucked. And so my housing director just said, "Oh, there's this other room available with an actual roommate." So unfortunately, I have to go back to living with a roommate. Fortunately, it does seem like he's better than my previous one. For one, he doesn't smoke, which was the main problem with my previous roommate, so I'm glad at least he doesn't do that. And he seems to be a pretty nice and chill guy. For some reason, he has a radio in here. I don't know why. Like, if you're gonna have a radio, I think it makes sense to have it in the car, but why, play it in a fucking dorm? Like, that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me, especially because radios are like 50% ads. No, probably like 75% ads. But I deleted those two videos basically talking about that situation regarding, me throwing out the temporary movers stuff because I was just playing on talking about it in this video. So basically, I'll give you a rundown of what happened again. So basically, as soon as I entered that room like a few days ago, I noticed that there was somebody else's like comforter and a few pillows and a book on a bed. There was like a little bit of stuff in like the freezer and the refrigerator, but that was about it. Like everything else was pretty bare. And so I thought this must be stuff that was left from like last semester. And so just to double check, I went downstairs and I talked to the front desk, and they found it weird that there was stuff there to begin with because they thought, the RAs would have checked that before allowing me to, check into the room. So I thought that was weird. But then the housing director, the one that actually guided me to the room, told me it's okay to throw it away. And so, I did. I threw that stuff away. And now it still makes me feel shitty because, yeah, apparently that was the people that were temporarily living there, that was their belongings. So I just threw it away without any second thought because, an RA told me to, or a housing director told me to, and so I just followed his rule, or I followed his directions. Now, I want to preface that this is basically nobody's fault because he didn't know that there were people temporarily living in there. Although I still do think that he should have checked a little bit harder before just allowing me to prance into the room without even checking if somebody was like temporarily living there. And it seems like they were temporarily living there because of AC problems on their other dorm that they were living in before. So, yeah, I did try to talk to him recently and ask like if I could ever go back to that room once they, of course, like leave because it's only a temporary thing. I'm still awaiting a response to that, but yeah, I'm just wondering. But honestly, even if I do get the room back, I don't know if I want to go back there again because I've had to move all of my shit like in 2 days. Like I've had barely any time to unpack all this stuff in the previous room, let alone having to unpack it all again, or just pack it all up again and then unpack it in this room. And it's just a big fucking hassle because I actually have a test today. So I have to really lock in and focus on that. And I've just barely had any time to study because I've been moving so much and spent like 3 hours just getting everything back and forth because I have a lot of stuff. And the bad thing about this room, especially compared to the last one where you had like so much space, this is the exact opposite because I only have this desk to put my stuff on and like a little cabinet space on top of a cabinet and the cabinets themselves to put stuff in. But besides that, that's it for like space. There's like a tiny bit of room on top of the mini fridge and the fucking microwave, but that's it. Like you don't have like any space whatsoever. And this is what I was talking about before, like with somebody else like taking up like all the space so you can't really put your stuff anywhere. I kind of feel like that now, although to a lesser extent because at least I have a desk, so that goes without saying. But yeah, It is not been the best couple of days, and now I just need to again lock in and just do a test very very soon. So hopefully I do well on it. It's fortunately not going to be that hard since it's like open note. It's like online. It's not like a in-person test. So at least there's that, and I don't have to worry about any other tests this week. So I'm glad that I can at least knock this one out of the way. But I do have other assignments in like 2 weeks that are like due. And I've had, again, barely any time to actually fucking work on them because I've had to move for like 6 hours alone in like the past 2 days. So it's not been great. But rather than that, that's basically been it. I don't want to harp on this too much because, again, I made a few videos on this situation or part of this situation before I deleted them because, again, I just wanted to talk about it in this video instead. But yeah, as I said, my new roommate seems to be actually okay, better than my last one at least, so there's that, which is good. He does have to wear I forgot what the name of it is, but it seems like he has to wear like a kind of breathalyzer thing. I'm not like, ragging on him for having to wear that because, you can't control that shit if you have to wear it, if you can or can't wear it because some people just have to, just based on, like how they're born and stuff. But, it's still not fun. I'm not going to say, it's like, oh, it's fucking terrible that when I go to bed, I just hear this big breathalyzer machine because I've actually become like sort of used to it at this point. But like even then, again, it's just not fun. Like when I'm trying to go to bed to hear that sort of stuff. Again, it's not the biggest deal in the world. Most of the time, I have a fan blowing anyway, so it's just a little bit more background noise, not background noise. But yeah, you get my point. But yeah, that's one annoyance besides that radio thing, which again, I don't know why he has a radio in a dorm room. Like you can just listen to it in the car. And again, it's like a bunch of ads. So why do you want to like listen to ads? And it's not like this is like a tiny thing ever. This either. This is like a big radio speaker thing. And again, I just don't really get the point of it. It's you can just listen to music by finding it on your own. If you really are like trying to search for like radio music, it's not that hard to find. But yeah, that is basically it, and I will see you guys later. Goodbye.